Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to School of Magic by Part-Time Indie, and it's a free demo right now out on Steam, to be determined as to when it'll be released and in what form it'll be released in. I've played a little bit of it off camera here, which is why you're kind of sitting here. We're standing here in this hall here. There is no like main menu to speak of. It just kind of drops you right into the game. It's a basically an action RPG essentially. It's got some interesting mechanics to it. Basically a card, almost a deck mechanic, which we'll get into a bit. But it is also roguelike. A very, very, very much a roguelike. Where you're meant to die a lot and come back and kind of boost yourself. So if we come over here, and I've died, this is my fourth run. As you die, you start to unlock bits and pieces of this magic school that you're in. The idea is that you are taking an entrance exam to the school. And your entrance exam is basically you're thrown into a dungeon and you have to kill all the things until you die, and then you come back here. This is our deck so far. You can see our different collections which are unavailable in the demo. That's a different collection that's unavailable. Not sure. Anyway, these are different cards that I've found. So these are in my deck, I believe. Yeah, these are all. So anything that's in your deck are cards you can actually obtain during your run, and then you can kind of move them around and stuff. I believe that these are all available to me. The UI definitely needs some work, but I believe these are all available to me right now. So we'll say okay to that. And there is a shopkeeper over here, I believe. Nature shopkeeper. Yeah, it can teach me new spells based on the gold that I have collected. Well, actually, it's based on knowledge, and knowledge is, I believe it was described as like, I guess the number of enemies I don't know if it was the number of enemies you killed or number of levels. I don't know if it's just something you find in chests. Maybe it's something you find in chests. It was kind of it kind of told me what it was real fast, and then just sort of moved on with its time. But in here is where we would level up in between things, and you get different caster levels, and it tells you what everything does here: projectile, peace of mind, all that stuff. Or I can spend 4 of this knowledge, unlock 3 more spells, which will add 3 more spells to this list. Or I can use the knowledge to update some of these, or both. I think what I want to do. Your mana is regenerating even when you're in combat. So what we're going to do here. Normally I would like say, oh, we're going to do like a 30-minute run or something. I'm going to do basically one run, and you'll see after that run pretty much what the game has in store. The run will probably last about half an hour, but we'll see here. I'm not going to put a timer up or anything. I want to kind of explain some of the things that I've seen. So your projectile spells will spawn 1 additional projectile, so I guess I'll do that. Maximum mana is decreased by 30%. Your mana is regenerating even when you're in combat. I guess I'll do a little bit of that. Prophecy. You get experience points. Choose a number. Okay. And experience points. Okay. Not quite sure how that's supposed to work. Projectile spells will travel through the first enemy, and your maximum mana is decreased by 30%. It's weird because everything's like decreasing my mana, but then like there's nothing really. I guess you don't unlock these until you have the full knowledge, I guess. because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. So I don't really have projectile reproduction until I get 12 knowledge in there, I guess. So I guess that is now a thing. Something like that. Yeah, so you just got like steps towards it. Because a lot of these don't make sense if it's based on the number that's in there. The teleportation teleports you to any place on screen. Let's unlock 3 more spells. No more spells unlocked in the demo. Okay. Infinite hourglass. Your maximum life is decreased by 60%. Time slows down when enemies are close. Whenever you cast a spell or start to move, the time speeds up shortly. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I guess I can move this up a few steps, and we'll move that up a few steps, I guess. And we'll see what this does. I don't know. It's very... Like I said, the UI could use... the UI is very utilitarian right now. It could use a good overhaul. Now, you do get to choose what school of magic you want to be in. Not all of them are available in the demo. I think there's only 2 schools, maybe, available in the demo. One is nature, which is what I've taken. And I think the other one was, I want to say water or fire. One of those. I don't actually honestly remember. But yeah, I mean, that's what we got so far. And then we just come up to this guy to start another run. Ready to start your entrance exam. Yeah, and there's all kinds of like story apparently, but nothing was really set in stone. So we're just going to start the entrance exam, and we'll be popped basically into your typical, almost typical like action RPG, right? The mouse left click moves around. Left click also interacts with things that are yellow, presuming there's no enemies in the room. And right click fires your spells. Now we have a level up, so I click on that. And here's where it gets a little bit confusing, which is why I feel like the UI needs a good overhaul. But what you've basically got here is a pool of cards, right? And we have no cards are active in our deck yet. Like our deck is 0, basically. Right, and here's our gold, here's spell points, how many spells you can learn right now, and my level and all that stuff, right? So, what I'm doing here is I'm basically selecting what my attack is going to be for the right click, right? So, we'll say Infernal Strike is fire, Poison Arrow is poison, and this just gives me 10% more damage, and my cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Now, you might think, oh well, this is a pretty straightforward, thing. But in reality, what happens is you're allowed to pick one card, one based on how many spell points you have. If you have more than one spell point, you can select more than one card each level up. But each level up, you select one card. Any card you don't select increase in power. So it actually is there's a little bit of a strategy involved where you can kind of maybe you want a particular card, but you also want to kind of let it level up a little bit, so you might not take it immediately. But every time you level up, one of your cards is also at random is discarded. You can't use it. So it's like a risk reward thing. You can leave a card out there that maybe you want to get it to level up a little bit, but if you push your luck too much, you might end up losing that card and not being able to use it at all. So it's an interesting way of doing it. It's also it was not making a whole lot of sense either when I first did this, and then after I played a couple rounds, it started to click with me. So we'll get to Infernal Strike here. And we'll say learn. You can also sell your cards if you have more than 4 cards in the pool, I believe. Or you can level them up for gold if you want to. So you can actually force them to level up. But once they're in your hand, they don't seem to level up. Which is weird. And I'm not sure if that's... I'm not entirely sure of that. Actually, it says level 2, level 3 there. I don't know if they actually level up once you've selected them in your hand. in my limited experience, don't seem to get any better, but maybe that's just because I haven't had a very long run. So that goes into our left click slot here. You've got numbered key slots as well. Here's my mana of 1,000. Here's my health. I have no health potions. Normally they start you off with 3, but then each run they don't give you any more. So you basically start, if you've used them all in a previous run, you don't get any health potions, which I think is kind of a bad thing, but given how the game works here, but you'll see as we go. Now, I have what might be considered a petty complaint. Now you see I lost the ability to use this poison arrow because I've leveled up now. But all the other cards that remained, like this card that remained is now leveled up. It's now level 2. You can see by the 2 there. And then we've got a bunch of other cards that we can use. Infernal Strength. Whenever an enemy takes damage, you increase your damage for 3 seconds by 5%. Backing up to 10 times. Gain one of the 2 following abilities at random. Increase the damage of all spells by 15% or reduce the cooldown of all spells by 15%. And you can see if I let this sit around the level 3, it will actually be 25% or level 2, 20%. Reduce the cooldown of all spells by 10%. And I believe you have to take something, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you're allowed to dismiss this without taking something. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you are allowed to dismiss it without taking something. Just let them level up. And maybe that's part of the, part of the strategy, I guess. And yes, barrels are explodey. So, my petty complaint. My petty complaint is that you cannot use WASD in this game to move around. And yes, there are plenty of action RPGs I have played that are the same way. I think even Path of Exile is the same way, where you can't use WASD, you have to use the left mouse to move around. And I get it, and that's fine. The difference between those games and this game, though, is in those other games, you can usually outrun most of the enemies. There might be a few enemies you can't outrun, but most of them you can probably outrun. This game, you cannot outrun pretty much anything, and not only can you not outrun things, but there are mages that will start to hit now who have very, very large AoE effects that hurt a hell of a lot, and you just simply cannot dodge out of the way of them. There is no, as far as I know, there is no dodge mechanic in this. I can't like roll out of the way, or I don't even, there's not even a jump or anything. Like there's nothing, right? And in the absence of that, the game feels clunky and a bit unfair, right? Like I feel like if you gave me at least WASD, I'd be able to be better at dodging, or at least be better at moving around, or at least give me some sort of dodge, where I can dodge away from things. Because you can kind of dodge, right? But then if you want to fire off something, you stop while you fire off. So it's a little bit clunky when you're doing it, because it's like, yeah, I could try and dodge, but I have to stand still to fire my mage stuff. Which maybe that's the ultimate thing, is be able to cast on the run. Maybe that's something that would be really good to have in the game. But it feels like I feel like my hand is almost cramped on the on the mouse a little bit, because if I'm trying to fire and I'm trying to click around, it feels clunky to me. Whereas if I was doing WASD and just worrying about firing with the mouse, I feel like the game would feel a little bit more responsive to what I'm trying to do. But that again is a very nitpicky thing, and I get it. A lot of people will just be like, that's like, what's the really not that big a deal, and it's not. But it does make the game feel. It does bring a different feel to the game if you do something like that. So, What we got? Level 3, level 4 on that, so I can wait for 1,000 cuts for the cooldown. Can wait for this to level up some more. Shoots a projectile through all enemies, dealing 15 to 25 damage and burning them. I mean, that's kind of nice to have anyway. So what I could do, I'm going to do the following. What I'm going to do is, do I have any gold? I have a little bit of gold. So if I level this up for 100 and learn that one, I'll have one skill point there, so I can let the other things kind of roll for a bit. You can see there's my other ability, put on cooldown. And again, it does feel a little bit clunky because I have to use the keyboard for, you know, for these abilities, but I can't use it for movement, so I feel it's just weird. It just feels very weird. And not only that, but it's very hard to get any kind of those abilities off because these guys outrun you all the time. You know? Now you do heal when you're out of combat, which is nice and really, really necessary. Oh, these guys are gonna come for me. Do a one, oh, and that was weird. And see, now I just can't even get away from this guy. And there's some kind of like thing hitting me that I don't know, like I can't get away from that either. It just feels like the game feels unfair in a bad way. Right? It's like there's difficult and then there's like impossible. And the game feels a bit impossible in a lot of things that it does, regardless of what kind of power-ups I get here. Alright, he takes damage. You have 5% chance to cast a rain of fire, dealing 10 to 15 damage to all enemies nearby. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I can level that up a little bit. And shoots a projectile flying through all enemies, dealing poison to them. Reduces the cooldown of all spells of such tool by 23%. That might be good. Let's do Infernal Strength. We've gotten up to level 4. So let's get that one going. And 700 gold or 400 experience. So you see up here the cards that are actually in our hand that are active. I'll sell that one off for some gold, and let's level this one up. All right, and I don't have another skill. I don't have another spell point for it, unfortunately. So I guess so. The level also dictates how many. Well, no, you should get at least one spell point, right? I have a feeling yeah, how many spells you can learn right now? Yeah, I should be able to do that. It's just I used my other points up that I had. All right, what is this? I have not seen this before. Oh, and then there's enemies running up to me. There we go. See a stone throne surrounded by statues of angels, and the majestic look is emphasized by the yellow light. There's a crown sitting on the throne asking to be picked up. Sure. Reach for the crown, there's a flash of light. After you regain your vision, you see that the crown is gone. You feel different. Okay. Now I have a crown card. Curse of the King. The cooldown of all your spells is increased by 25%. Whenever you pick gold, you gain 2% less damage for 10 seconds. Stacking up to 25 times. Yep. Note to self. Touch nothing. Touch nothing. we go. There's level 5. So I lost this one, which is the one I had just leveled up. So there you go. Came back to bite me in the ass. Increase the damage of all spells by 10%. Reduce the cooldown of all spells by 16%. We'll learn that one. This one is still 18% more damage, and your cooldowns are reduced by 18%. I believe also the game warns you too at some point that your cooldowns cannot be less than 7/10 of a second. So you can get all these cooldown reduction things, but they cannot reduce your cooldowns below 7/10 of a second. So just bear that in mind as you go. That Curse of the King there. Really hurting with the spell cooldowns. There we go. I have not leveled up yet. Here's bars down the bottom there. That random fire thing helps a lot when they're right around you. All right, level 6. Okay, so let's do projectile spells have a 52.5% chance to knock back an enemy. Damage of all spells by 13%. 40% more gold. You 10% less damage. Whenever an enemy dies, you have a 20% chance to spawn a loot bag, which can contain gold, life potions, knowledge points, or a card. That goes to 23 and then 26%. Alright, we'll let that sit around for a little bit. This is up to level 6, so 20% more damage, and your cooldown's reduced by 20%. Let us do that. And, I am going to... well, you know what? I'm going to hold on to that Bone Crusher one and then sell it and maybe get more money for it as it levels up a little bit. So I like the mechanics here. I like the way they've integrated the cards and stuff, where it's like, you know, you can, it's a, you know, a pressure luck kind of thing, right? Where it's like, do you wait and potentially lose the card before you can use it, or do you know, or do you pay to level it up yourself? You know, those kinds of things. And I think it's a really good, a really awesome mechanic that they got going there. Like I said, my main real complaint is the combat again feels a bit stilted, a bit unfair, a bit stilted, you know, in not a good way. Like it doesn't feel like I can get skillful at the game, right? It just feels like it's a matter of having the right cards and not, you know, like even if you get like bad cards, you can't what's the word I'm looking for? You can't salvage a run just from skill alone. And that's kind of my problem with it, right? Like I feel like there should be a way to salvage a run if you're just that good at movement and stuff. Like there should be a way to salvage it. Now, obviously there's a teleport mechanic in the game like a spell that you can get to teleport, which is probably why they make you go so slow, because they want you to use the teleport stuff. But honestly, I would gladly forego that whole teleport thing and just be like, just give me some really good movement mechanic. Give me a dodge roll or something. The old stone table has cracks everywhere, and a potion consisting of a slimy yellow fluid is standing in its center. Ask yourself why anyone would drink something as disgusting as that. And there's a dead guy there too. The cooldowns. Does it actually tell me what the potion is here? Need for speed. Cooldowns and damage of your spells are reduced by 10%. So not only are you reducing the cooldown, you're reducing the damage of them. I guess I will never know. Did it actually tell me that before, and I didn't even see it on the screen? I think it told me this now because I've seen this before. Although I never drank it, so I don't know. Maybe it was showing me that before, and I didn't even take notice to it. I assume that's more of a debug thing than an actual mechanic is seeing what card you're going to draw, because that part of the fun is rolling the dice, Right, I've already been this way, right? Going to the mini map. What does the main map look like? Yeah. Now it's not. The map is not, at least not now, as far as I can tell, procedurally generated. Every time I've been through it, it seems like it's been the same exact map. So I assume there's no procedural generation in this. I don't know if there will be some. I mean, I would kind of hope there would be, because you're going to want your runs to be a little bit different each time. The different events, though, so far as I've seen, have been random, like where they show up on the map and stuff like that. I got a potion of life too, didn't I? That's good. And this guy, that's the other thing. That's the other reason why I said, like, the game feels unfair, is because that guy, like I said, you can't outrun anybody, and that guy stuns you for several seconds every time you hit. And that's just the most annoying thing in the world. Alright, so what do we get here? You need 600 gold. Whenever you gain a level, increase your maximum life by 50. 12% less damage. Increase your maximum life by 200. There's Wrath. Projectile flying through all enemies, dealing 25 to 56 damage and poisons them. I kind of like the loot bag thing. So Surge of Power is also good. Let's do Surge of Power. I feel like I'm going to need to do it soon here, because enemies they're throwing a lot of higher level enemies at me already. As they should, because I'm leveling up, but no. Alright, is this a merchant? Yep. Tell me what you have to offer. Now, when you buy these become active immediately. So, 20% extra experience points. 100 experience points. Gain 100 life whenever an enemy died. That actually sounds pretty good. Drain life. Drain nature. Yeah, I believe these immediately... Yeah, they immediately go into your hand with whatever level they are. But I don't think you can actually upgrade the things that are in your hand. Unless they upgrade on their own. Surge of Powers 4. What is this one? This one's the early one I got, right? Yeah, see, that's still like level 2. I think once things go active, you don't... Like, they don't level any further. Unless you could do it from that other screen. I'm not entirely sure. Reign of Revelation. Whenever you gain a level, increase your maximum mana by 50. You have Fireball. 20% extra points. Experience points. Let's take that anyway. Alright, and that taps us out. I don't think there's I don't think you can like upgrade these once they're in there. You can see what my stats are this run so far. And all that stuff. Now maybe there's like... What might be interesting is if there was like a... maybe a random event in the game or something where it would upgrade all the levels of the cards in your that are active for you. You know? I mean, that might be interesting. Or maybe there's another card that you can pull that would upgrade them or something. I mean, they kind of are getting upgraded because you're using other cards to boost your percentages. So I guess that's kind of how they're getting around it a little bit. But it would be interesting if you could like upgrade your base damage across the board, you know? Right, I think I've exhausted that whole pathway there. When you die in a game, though, you die very quickly because you get overwhelmed very, very quickly. And for some reason, that effect is not going away. Even though the card shows that shouldn't be active, but we'll see. You know what I mean by that? It feels like I just can't get away from things. And that's the part. I mean, that's the one part of the game. Like when you have an action RPG, you kind of go in with some expectations, and one of the expectations I tend to go in with is that the combat will be like super responsive. You know what I mean? Because I've played a lot of really good action RPGs. You know, Last Epic, PoE, you know, lots of stuff. And, you know, the combat, what makes those really fun to do is that the combat feels very active, and it feels like you can, you know, you can dodge out of everything and get what you gotta do, you know, do what you gotta do. And this one just feels very slow and in a bad way. You know what I mean? And so I hope that's something that they really tweak as they go here. 1% less damage. Alright, I'm definitely going for loot bag here. Let's level it up. And learn it. That's it. I'm having probably a better run than I've had the last 4 runs so far. Like, things are actually working out a little bit better here. And I don't know if it's just that I'm I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the combination of cards that I've selected. Maybe it's my letting the cards level up a little bit before I use them. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But so far, I've been having some decent luck with things. Oh! Yeah, trying to run away from that guy. There we go. There's a loot bag there. Excellent. Which just triggered my thing to go all the way up to level 20. Alright. Alright, who are you? I have a medicine for your illness. Come and see for yourself. What is this? Gain 2 of the following abilities at random. Your maximum life is reduced by 150. You'll lose 300 experience points. You have a 15% increased chance to land a critical strike. You receive 15% less damage. 2 of the following abilities at random. What do you want to bet I get the maximum life reduced and the lose 300 experience points? I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. No guts, no glory. I get it, but you know, that seems a bit too suspect. No. You run out of mana. If you stop casting spells for 3 seconds, your mana will start to regenerate again. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you only have like 3 seconds to collect that loot drops too. Or 4 seconds it looked like. So, because I just noticed that timer there. Didn't see that before. All right. I'm also being a lot more cautious than I have been in the past, because it's very easy to get like turned around and then you start to run away from one group of enemies only to run into even more going the other way, and then it just becomes they just pile on at that point. I did say this wasn't procedurally generated, although honestly some of this looks different. So I'm not entirely sure, because I've done a couple of runs and they all seem to be the same, but this does seem to have a few extra side paths that maybe I hadn't seen before, or I'm not sure here how this goes. Right. Oh, that was luck right there. Oh, see, I didn't get the other loot bag to drop. That was too slow. You gotta be fast. Gotta be fast with that. Okay, what else do we got here? You gain 700 gold. Increase your maximum life by 90 every time you gain a level. Whenever an enemy attacks you, he takes 14 to 21 damage. Whenever an enemy dies, increase your damage for 3.5 seconds by 20%, stacking up to 10 times. Whenever an enemy attacks you, you gain 8 experience points. I mean, that's an interesting one. I mean, I guess we should do Nature's Wrath at this point, because it's like 225 mana, but it's like 35 to 76 damage. I mean, that's a hell of a lot. This fireball, which I could probably sell off. Wrath of the Fallen. I really do like Wrath of the Fallen now. Whenever an enemy dies, you increase your damage 4.5 seconds by 30%. Even this one's like really good. Let's do this one. Let's level this one up a little bit. And learn that one. That seems pretty good. 35% every time we kill something. Yeah, we'll leave that be then. We'll see if that poison cloud thing sticks around for another level. Whoa, there we go. A lot of stuff. Whoops. Okay, hit the wrong button. Okay. That down there. Slowed by these guys. Go. Alright, excellent. Yeah, this has been the best run so far. I feel like everything's kind of working with some good synergies here. You can kind of see how the game works out. And what else we got here? It's not afraid to. In 1 minute the level will fill with poison. You better hurry and find the exit. Oh, there's an exit I have to find? I did not know that. This is, like I said, this is the first I've gotten, so I did not know there was an exit to the level. I wasn't sure how levels exited, to be honest. Grab all of that. Experience points. Yeah, there's no way I can get out of this. These guys are just spawning dudes so quickly here. Damn. They're spawning guys really quickly. So many guys here. Alright. Jeez Louise. So where's this exit at? Holy crap. Well, we're definitely taking this. Just learn it. Yeah. I gotta get out of here. Because we get poison filling up the place. I don't know where the exit is. Didn't know there was an exit. Oh, it looks like I can still move around. It's just you can't stand still in one place for too long. Well, where the heck is this exit? Have I found an exit? I mean, the only place it could be is down here, right? There's one, like, little section down here that I didn't explore fully. I have no idea how big this freaking level is, too. I've got no clue where this fabled exit is. There may not even be one. They're just, like, pulling my leg here. Wow, that poison cloud I got now is really doing its job. Holy crap. I'm glad I let that level up as long as it did. Oh, we're back to the beginning here. Great. So where in the heck do I go from here? I did not go before. It looks like over that other side is a spot. Oh, I think down there? Yeah, it looks like there's one down there. Another bridge down that way. Is that the way I want to go? I guess so. I mean, it looks like there's more map down there I haven't seen yet. I'm guessing this is the way I want to go. Where did I... Is this like a bridge here? It looks like all this is connected somehow, but it really does not appear like I can walk across it. Yeah, I haven't gone this way. I've definitely gone this way. According to Maymap, I've gone this way. I don't know what I have missed here. I think the main map is showing areas that you can't actually walk on. Yeah. Is there a thing up here that I can turn upwards? I have no idea where to go. Yeah, we're just back to the beginning again. I went full circle. Where have I not gone yet? Oh, there's a bridge up here I did not go. I can see that. So if I go Up, up, and to the left. Alright. We'll try that. Was it this side? Yes. Go. There. Oh. Hit by that guy. Damn it. Stop hitting me. One spell effect is really helping a lot. Oh, okay. So this I've seen before. Is this like the exit actually? I'm wondering now. I don't have any mana. Damn it. Need some mana. There you go. What does this say? Oh, the suffering. Your maximum life is reduced by 150 and you gain 300 experience points. Leave this place because I'm getting hurt. I'm getting very hurt here. Because that's definitely not the exit. Also, I have a level up. Whenever an enemy takes damage, you have a 31% chance to gain 7 experience points. Dual magic. You receive 20% less damage. Let's do 20% less damage. Just take that straight up. Let's go here. When you get close to the end of the level, an arrow will show you the direction to the exit. Oh, well. Finally. There we go. I'll just wrecking faces here now. That's good. Good stuff. What is this? Is that the exit? Can't do that while enemies are close. Those are not. Oh. Okay. Here. That. Level 12. There we go. Down here. Second. Grab that thing. Oh, there's the arrow that we were talking about. Okay, so that is the exit. Okay. Well, if that's the exit, then let's sell a whole bunch of stuff. I believe I take my gold with me. I'll do that to gain the gold. And I can't sell anymore because it would be less than the minimum amount you're allowed to have. Right. Move in here. You want to start the next section of entrance exam? Yes. Because this poison is not going to go away. That is the first time I've cleared a level. Oh, okay. End of the demo. Congratulations, you reached the end of the demo. More bosses, level types, and other things, my friends. I assume this will put me back in the guild hall here. Indeed it did. Did I carry all that gold with me? It actually doesn't say. Let me see what it says when I talk to her. Oh, that's right. It's all, the gold is only good in the run. So selling all those things really didn't matter. Huh, interesting. All right. But, that, my friends, has been a full run, which I was not expecting, of School of Magic. It is by Part-Time Indie. And this demo is free out on Steam right now. You could go take a look at it for yourselves, see what you think. Like I said, it's very it's an interesting take on it. It kind of reminded me a little bit, like with the card mechanics and stuff. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Magic the Gathering action RPG that had briefly lived before being killed off unceremoniously. But only it's got better way of handling it, where all the cards sort of synergize together a little bit, which is kind of nice. Could use a really good UI overhaul because some of those menus are confusing. Probably could split them up a little bit, active and you know, what's in the pool and what's active and that kind of thing. Yeah, no. Otherwise, a very good start, and I'm very interested to see where they go with this. Definitely something on my radar, and perhaps it will be on yours as well. As always, I will leave links down in the description. You can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you